Just a moment. You just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off there.
Oh, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
So I guess get him in the car.
One cup, look. They've even broken.
It is The Dennis Show, and I am Dennis, the host of The Dennis Show, a man so vain that he goes out in the middle of the day in just a robe and maybe a pair of Crocs and screams, "Listen to my podcast," to his neighbors. That's me. This is the first official episode of The Dennis Show, and I thank you for listening. Had a really nice week. Hope you guys did too. I'm broadcasting from the lovely city of Midland, Michigan, just a few minutes from Bay City, Michigan, where my podcast buddy, Randy, broadcasts his podcast from. What a strange, crazy, small world we live in. I did a couple podcasts I appeared on this week, in the last 2 weeks. Those dropped this week. Randy of the Miserable Retail Slave radio podcast show had me on the show, and his buddy Tommy, and we had a grand old time talking about burritos and clowns and a lot of other things that I can't remember because I was half in the bag, but that's okay. I was also on Girl Interrupter with the lovely Shayna, and we competed for mic time, and that was a great time, and you should listen to both of those shows in your spare time, and after you've listened to the entirety of the show. Some things in the news that kind of have bothered me that I wanted to talk about. Bill Cosby. The man raped more women than most people will sleep with in their lifetime, was released from prison this week, while Britney Spears, whose only real crime was getting a shitty haircut and possibly taking too many drugs, if that's a real thing, has been locked up in her house for 10 years or more. I'm not exactly sure how long. It's been a long time. But she's been there for 10 years while her dad, a lazy bastard from the South, I imagine, has stolen her money right from underneath of her. Sounds about right in this country where old white dudes continue to find ways of absorbing other people's money. The thing is, he fucked up. He shouldn't have not allowed Britney to not get that birth control removed. Imagine all the riches he would have got from those food stamps. Not thinking on his part. We've gone a record for no school shootings here in the States. No one really knows why the tragic numbers have slowed down. But in totally unrelated news, probably, the Fast and Furious' newest movie, Fast 9, made over $70 billion at the box office this week. The New York Yankees, oh boy, If you're a sports fan, you know this story. The Yankees fans poured out of Yankee Stadium last night after their favorite team, when they're winning, collapsed in the late innings, losing to the Angels. Fans could be seen spitting in each other's mouths, trying to create a new variant of the COVID-19 disease in hopes the season would be canceled. It's pretty bad when you're spitting in each other's mouths to stop a baseball season, huh? Justin Bieber, the talentless little fuck who should be counting his lucky stars he's got a career not taking dick from the back, is in the news. Apparently he's upset that fans are standing outside his $1 million estate. What a rough life. People standing outside of your fucking house trying to just get a glimpse of their hero, a silly little autograph, or whatever. Here's an idea. Take a time machine. You've got enough money. Take a time machine, walk your untalented little ass into it, hit 19, whatever the year you were fucking born, go back and be a baby, and don't release your ear rape on us, Justin. It solves a bunch of problems. We have a great show for you tonight. I think it's a good show. I think it's a great show. I haven't really recorded it yet, so this is very presumptuous on my part, but we have a great show. I'll be predicting the winner of Big Brother 23 based solely from their pictures that CBS posted today on social media. Now, this is a test. I want to see how vain the spectators of the show are, and I think I can pick it based solely off of their pictures. So stick around, have a beverage or 12, and we'll try to make you laugh for a minute or two.
Boy, I could listen to the sound of sizzle all day long.
It's pretty relaxing.
What do you say we mooch some hillbilly barbecue?
I haven't finished my organic chemistry homework.
You're 3 grades ahead already. Take the night off.
Oh, thank you, Shug. My headache feels a lot better.
Well, I may not have John Redcorn's healing touch, but I do know a lot about the female body on account I once saw a possum ripped apart.
I smell beef!
Don't even fool with shoes. Grab Gracie and let's go.
Look at you, my 2 hillmen. We might need more food. We've got company.
Well, Dad, it looks like this is the last one.
Oh, you're just getting started, Bobby. You'll be grilling your whole life.
Just like you.
Yep.
Yep.
So just before I started to record, when I was trying to decide on the topics and subjects I was going to broach upon this podcast, I saw a tweet. And Twitter is basically where I get all my news and pop culture information from. And sometimes you stumble upon a real ditty. And today's ditty is... ditty's a weird word. Today's ditty is from a guy named Josh Barros. I'm not familiar with him. I don't know what he does. I don't know if he's a writer for a newspaper or a magazine, or if he just... I know he has one of those fancy check marks by his name. So, I mean, I guess he's somewhat important. I mean, somewhere. Not to me. But he had a really shitty take on barbecuing. You know, probably because, we're coming up to the 4th of July, and that's a big barbecue season, or day. And I guess he's probably just trying to use the metrics and the keywords and the hashtaggies to, for someone to actually read some of his tweets. And it worked, so good on you, Josh. You You hit it right. You got the timing down. So good job for you. But he says grills are filthy. If you have a filthy grill, well, hold on a second. Grills are filthy, he said, stating that people will go outside in the heat, cooking on a barbecuer that the temperature isn't at the right temperatures. I don't know what he's cooking because it's not that hard to cook on a grill. And he never really specified on the type of grill. Like, is it a gas grill or is it a charcoal grill? And maybe he did. I didn't actually read the whole column because when you say grills are filthy, I stopped listening because I have a grill that is about 6 feet away from me right now that we use at least 4 times in the 7 days of the week, and it is not filthy at all. We actually take care of it because we invested a lot of money into it, and we don't have a lot of money to go around throwing around on grills when we could just cook in the house. Why do we cook on a grill? I feel as if it tastes a little bit better. I also like the act of being outside, drinking a beer, and cooking meat. I don't know. Maybe that's something that was just passed down from generation to generation. But I can tell you this, Josh. If you have a filthy grill outside, I can almost guarantee you that you have a filthy house inside. Because the grill is just a tiny apparatus in the existence of your life. And if you can't keep a grill that is so tiny clean, I guarantee that you're shitting in a toilet that is filled with stains, and your kitchen is a disaster. You probably have dishes soaking in water for days on end. I think this was supposed to be some kind of hidden judgment on the working class people. The people who work tirelessly 10 hours a day and then come home and they just want a little something to take their mind off of the doldrums of the week, and they, for some reason, find solace or maybe even church within cooking on a grill. So how dare you, Josh? How dare you try to take that away from the working man?
Down.
When I was a kid, I was like 5 or 6, and we had a little dog. I guess I was 5 years old. And the dog was old, and his back, he couldn't even get up anymore. And my dad looks at me, and he goes like this. He goes, that's been a good dog for so many years for us, but he ain't going to make it anymore. I want you to take this hammer and beat him to death. And I remember looking at him, and I go, he's going to die? And my dad goes like this. You know what? Forget that. I don't want you to take care of the dog. Why don't you go put a fucking dress on and sit next to your sisters? And I yelled, no. And I just went over and started pounding the fucking dog in the head. And there was blood all over me.
Yeah.
Blood all over. And I'm yelling, are you satisfied? I'm just screaming at him. Right. Are you satisfied? And my dad looks at me and he goes, Ronnie B., that's not even our dog. You just beat the neighbor's fucking puppy to death. And I said to him, well, I guess I do feel the fool. And he and I split a beer. And that day, I knew, you know what I mean? I knew that I was in the right family.
This week has been something that I'd like to, it's been like an epiphany or a reaffirmation. It's reaffirmed. These are not words. Why am I having such a hard time connecting the word that I'm trying to find in my mind? Probably because I've ingested a bunch of beer. But it's woken me up, not in the woke sense, but in the sense that the reason I wanted to be a podcaster or a radio guy was because I fell in love with the art of conversation through several guys. Art Bell being one. I don't know if there's a lot of people that remember Art Bell now. I mean, the old guard will remember him. But he had a radio show about the paranormal, and it was unlike anything that I've ever heard before. It was different. He wasn't a typical host. he would argue with the guests, if he thought they were full of bullshit. There were crazy stories that weren't true, but maybe they were true. Who knows? And then Ron Bennington of the Bennington Show, of the Ron Bennington Show, of Ron and Fez. Just an extremely intelligent guy who could have a conversation with anybody. And that's a talent. Because, well, now it's hard meeting people or, finding new friends because of, one, age. When you get to a certain age, people start to shut down a little bit and they stay home. They stay to themselves. They have families. And now the only place that I'd ever go other than work or home or, a restaurant would be the bar. And that's where I've met most of the most interesting people in my life is the bar. So, we don't have that anymore. So it's hard to have a good conversation with somebody new, someone different. We live amongst people who have similar interests. And I think that's a dangerous thing. I think it's dangerous if we don't allow ourselves to be around people who don't have the same thought process or the same beliefs. Now, I'm not saying that you should hang out with a racist person who's, lighting up crosses in front of someone's yard. That's probably taking it too far. But if someone grew up in a time period where they don't have the same beliefs, it's okay to befriend them. You have to understand, there's been a lot of things that have changed over the last 30 years. We live in different times. It's unfair to think that someone should have the same belief system as you if they've lived in a different time. Now, if they're being belligerent, being crazy, murdering, stuff like that, that's one thing. But if they're just believing something differently, like I've grown up as an atheist. I knew I didn't believe in God by the age of probably 7 years old. I remember vividly sitting at church camps when I was 7 that my mom forced upon me, and just looking at what I felt were sheep. I don't want to color Jesus Christ. I want to be at home doing things that are normal to me. And I understand that church camp was normal to other people, and that's fine. I've never gone out of my way to belittle someone for their religious beliefs or their political beliefs, unless they're extremes. If they're extremes, that's one thing. But so, as I sat here this week, and I was very inspired, I got extremely inspired by a few people who reinvigorated, maybe that's the word I was looking for, reinvigorated my love for comedy. And here's the thing, and people are going to disagree with me on this, and that's okay. But I don't think comedy hurts anybody. If someone says a joke, someone says something derogatory, they're just words, and it might sting, but it doesn't really hurt you. But you can walk away from it. You can turn it off. You can go away. Now, I'm sure there are some themes that you shouldn't touch, but I don't think it hurts anyone to say them. You can just. The thing is, if a comedian isn't funny, if he's not funny or she's not funny, people will stop coming out and watching their shows. And if that happens, they disappear. I think in some ways we can learn from things that offend us. It reminds us of why we're offended by something, why we care so diligently about some subject. And instead of canceling someone for saying something that you don't like, I think there should be conversation instead. Now, there's, honest, absolutely, if they're raping people or killing people, that's one thing. There's a beauty in comedy. It's almost like music. I think everyone needs a little comedy in their life. Like, we all need music in our life. It makes us laugh. And some of the stuff that makes us laugh, we probably shouldn't laugh at sometimes. We probably It shouldn't be funny, but it is. You can't fake laughter. Well, you can, but real true laughter, real comedy that evokes an emotion out of you that is true is undeniable. And no bad person is bad all the time, and no good person is good all the time. I learned that from Loki, the prince of mischief, or the king of mischief, or the god of mischief, or whatever. It's okay to laugh at things sometimes that maybe we shouldn't, but I don't know. Comedy, I think, is magic. I think comedy is magic. When it's done right, there's nothing better. There's nothing more pure or real. And I'm afraid that one day we're going to snuff it out like we've snuffed out all the other arts, like poetry. And that's a scary thing. And now enjoy a clip from an episode of Girl Interrupter that I did this past week with Shayna. Enjoy. You broached this subject, so I'm going to veer into it.
Go ahead.
Do you like to be ate out?
It depends on the eater.
That's true. Some people are maniacs.
They just don't know what the fuck they're doing and just want to smack them on the side of the head when they're doing it.
Do you think they're doing it on purpose, being crazy like that? Or they're just so lost and they've watched so many pornos and seen how people really eat pussy?
I think that they truly think that they're doing it right. And I'm not going to be the one who breaks the news to them. I don't know where you learned this technique here, but you need to go ask Jeeves what the fuck to do.
I don't know if Ask Jeeves is still around.
I think it is.
Okay. But the other thing is...
I think that's how my other ex-boyfriend learned.
Jeeves, how do you eat pussy?
Yeah.
And then someone's on the other end of that computer typing in.
Jeeves.
Jeeves is like, I don't know. I'm answering all these fucking questions.
Yeah, like, hold on, let me ask Google.
Hey, Google. Siri. All right, it is time for the main event of the evening, the main part of this podcast. I've been a big fan of Big Brother for most of its 23 seasons on CBS. I remember the first year, the first season was amazing. It was something a little bit different that we'd not seen before. It was like The Real World, only more elaborate, more complex, and we could see everything that was going on. Not just there was like recorded parts and stuff like that too, but we did have the live feeds and stuff like that. So it was something different. It was something interesting. I haven't been watching it steadily over the last 10 years. There's been... I was a big fan of Paul. Everybody hated Paul. But Paul was a good player, I thought. And... it's not as popular as it used to be. I would like to see it. Maybe... it's weird if you think about it. We all just went through this thing where we were all stuck in a house for 24 hours a day for weeks on end. And now there's people actually volunteering to go back into a house and basically quarantining themselves. Of course, they're doing it for money and fame and all that. But it's interesting if you think about it. I don't know if I could do it. I've been stuck in the house for months now, but I don't think I could do it with strangers and a television camera in front of me the whole time. Not even for money. I don't think. Plus, I'm gross. I don't want people to see that shit on TV. I fart in my sleep. I burp. I burp all the time. I'm just a walking meat bucket of gas, and I swear. And I don't think I could do it. I would be like Puck from MTV's The Real World San Francisco, and people would hate me, but that's not anything different from my existence now anyways. I digress. So there are 16 names released, 16 pictures, and I'm going to predict the winner of Big Brother 23 based on their image, just based solely on their faces. And I'll go through their names and why I think they'll be eliminated. And then, you guys can call me Nostradamus later on when I predicted the correct one. So we'll go one by one. The first picture was Elisa. Elisa's a good-looking young lady. She looks like she's about... And I don't have any information at all about these people, with the exception of their name and their faces. That's it. I'll leave... So I'm going in, empty. Elisa is a young woman. She looks like she's about 20, 21. Very pretty, nice smile. And I think she's probably going to last a while. Then you have Azah. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. It's A-Z-A-H. Another very attractive woman, a black lady. Another great smile. She has a very large afro. She looks very confident. She doesn't look very big. And Elisa kind of looks kind of small as well. So that could play roles in the games. Azah looks very, very intelligent. I can see intelligence in her eyes, and she'll make it deep. She won't win. I think she'll have an attitude of some sort, and the attitude comes from the strength. It's not an attitude of being rude, just in confidence. We have Brent. I'm gonna guess Brent is the gay guy out of the group. They always have at least one homosexual person in the group. Another nice smile. He looks like he's very, very well in shape, so he could be a powerhouse in the competitions. He does have a smugness to him, an arrogance to him in the picture, so he might not make it long. I think he may rub everyone the wrong way. We next have Britney. Britney looks like she's probably from the Midwest. She's got a nice smile, too. A little bit bigger than the first two ladies. She looks like she's probably a school teacher. And so she's going to be smart. Doesn't look like she's very athletic. And that could be a concern in the competitions, but her intelligence might also help her in that realm. She looks like she's probably one of those ladies that gets along with everybody, so she'll go deep. Christy is by far the most unique looking out of the group. In this picture, she has no hair, so I don't know if she is a cancer patient, and I'm not trying to be mean or rude or funny. Maybe she's the big story, so everyone can get behind her. She has a nice smile. She too does not look very big, very athletic. So I don't know if that's a storyline. If she's the one with some kind of illness, America loves that story. She could go deep. Then we have Derek F. Derek F. A very large black man with a majestic beard. He looks like he is an athlete of a lot of things. He has a confidence in his smile. He also doesn't have any hair, so why didn't I make the assumption that he had cancer? I'm just an asshole. He looks like he might be a little timid for his size, though. He might look a little shy. And that will be picked off soon. So I don't think he's going to go far. Then we have Derek X. He looks like an Asian person with a weird haircut and glasses. He's also a very unique looking person in the context of this cast. He looks like he's what they would term the what do they call it? The fan, the super fan. I think Derek X is the super fan of the group. He knows everything about everything that's ever happened in the Big Brother house, including who took the biggest shit, which I would be interested in that. If they ever wrote a book, the past of Big Brother, or the behind the scenes of Big Brother, I would like that to be in there, who took the biggest shit. And then we got Frenchie. Frenchie is a dude He's wearing like a flannel-like shirt, kind of, I guess. I don't know. He will probably be the first one eliminated in the game. He just looks like he's probably fucking annoying, if I'm going to be honest. Then we have Christian. Christian is the pretty boy of the group. The pretty boy. He's got what looks to be very blue eyes and some sort of perm haircut. I don't know. It looks like a perm. It looks like a weird type of... I don't know. It kind of looks like Ronald McDonald, if you ask me. But I think all the girls will kind of like him because he does have the nice eyes. So he'll make it deep. We have Hannah. Hannah, I can't tell what nationality Hannah is. She's a very, very beautiful woman. I'll tell you that much right now. I right now going in, I'm a big fan of Hannah. But she looks very confident. She looks like one of those women that will not take any bullshit, which kind of scares me in a way too. That's probably why I'm attracted to it. To her, not it. I'm attracted to her confidence. Kyland. Now, that's a cool name. I've never seen the name Kyland before. Another black gentleman. He doesn't have as big an afro as Azza, but it's there. It's a cool one. If afros are cool, I don't know. But yeah, he looks like a happy person. His smile is very radiant, and he looks like he is just ready. He's just ready to play. He looks like he could probably be one of those guys that are starting groups with 3 different people. So you better watch out for Kyland. And then we have Sarah. Sarah is a white woman wearing very extravagant earrings. She isn't smiling as much as she's grimacing, it looks like to me. And so that's concerning. I mean, she doesn't seem like she's very happy. Maybe she's made a mistake. Maybe she wanted to play a different reality game, and CBS has said, "Yeah, we got room for you on this one." And she's like, "Oh, okay, I guess." Tiffany is another lovely. I'll tell you this much: the cast is a very good looking cast outside of Frenchie. Frenchie's just, I don't know what they're thinking about with Frenchie. He's wearing a ball cap. You know what they say about guys that are wearing ball caps in pictures all the time. But Tiffany looks like she's pretty confident, but bored with the situation. Her photo tells me that she's just like, whatever. I'm just doing this for the paycheck. Because they all have to be making money somehow, right? They're not going to do this for free. Travis. Now, Travis is an interesting contestant. And he might be the first one actually out of the show before it even starts. Because there has been some rumors that he was sending sexually explicit messages to certain members of the Big Brother online community, and just not really a good guy. And I won't say much about that because these are just rumors and innuendo. So who knows if it's real? He has a face that you want to punch. He's got a cockiness to himself, and I immediately dislike him. I disliked him before I even knew about that information. And I only knew that information because it was plastered all over off on Twitter. So I tried to not know anything about any of these people, but that one popped out at me. Whitney is the blonde bombshell of the season. She is a looker. Looker. I said looker with an L. Just let's be safe. Yeah, she is extremely attractive, and that's all I can really say. She is probably, the social media, what do they call that? Shit, I can't remember. See, now this is why you shouldn't drink alcohol out of cans. She's probably a promoter of businesses on her social media. That you guys know what I'm talking about now. And then there's Xavier. Xavier looks like the all-American the all-American kid, a black gentleman. There's this is a pretty diverse group. But he looks like he's an athlete. He looks like he might even be a model, to be quite honest with you. He's that handsome. And he looks like he don't take any bullshit either. So I think him and Azah are going to be a team. And maybe even Hannah for a spell. I think Elisa, Britney, and Frenchie will be a team for about an episode before Frenchie gets shit canned. And then I think Christy, Sarah, and maybe Derek will be a team. I don't know. But here we go. Here's who's going to win Big Brother 23. It's going to come down to Azah. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Azah and I think Xavier. I think the two are going to take that team to the final two, and I think Azah wins. She just has this confidence about herself and this look about herself that I'm in. I'm on Team Azah and Team Whitney because she's hot and I'm a boy, and that's what we do. But I would not be surprised if Xavier won either, because this guy looks like he's a beast. And so that's my predictions. Azah, the winner of Big Brother 23.